Yes, so Justin, thanks very much for joining me. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Richard. I'm Justin Lee. I'm a sales and leadership coach, and I specialise in working with business and sales teams to help them accelerate growth.
I see you've written a book as well.
I have written a book. Yeah, it's called Inspire, Influence, Sell. Yeah, and the book actually is one of the reasons why we first met, actually, and the reason I came to you.
Cool. Well, yeah. Tell me, what made you come to me in the first place?
So the book is a book of not only the work I do, but it's the kind of foundation for a program I run. And the entry point for the program is that I invite my clients and people in my network to take a scorecard. And so customers take the scorecard, and once they've taken the scorecard, that helps them to kind of work out what they need to do and adjust. It also gives them a personal development plan, but it creates a lot of data. And this data comes as quite a raw file. And so I've been kind of gathering customer data, and customers were approaching me and saying, if we wanted to start to pull that together and look at, some trends and some information for our teams, how would we do it? And short answer is I didn't know, but you and I had met before and talked about a previous project, and I knew that you would be someone that I could talk to about it. So I contacted you to, I guess, get an idea of how I could start to sort this massive data that I knew what I wanted to get from it, but I didn't know how to sort it and get that data and the structure.
Well, now I obviously know what I made for you, but what did I actually end up making for you?
So it's a really, really neat spreadsheet, but it's more than a spreadsheet. So the way that I use it is every time I run a client program, or every time I'm invited to pull together some reports by a customer, I extract the data from my online kind of scorecard report. I drop it into a simple table that you've created that's pre-set up with all the different fields and functions. And literally, once I've done that, I go to a second sheet and then just pull the customers that I want to review, which takes a couple of minutes. As long as I know who I'm trying to pull together, it extracts that data and then just gives me, I guess, a high-level view of that specific customer. And then the output from that helps me to pull together trend data. So I can then start to structure and organize that data in the way that you and I agreed when we briefed on the project, and it outputs a series of charts that just make it really simple for me to present back to customers and say, here's where we've got to, and here's your organization in, I guess, at a high level in terms of sales effectiveness and sales capability. But the really valuable piece is that it benchmarks against all of the other people that have been through that scorecard. So we've got a tool that helps me to present back to my customers where they are based on the market and their organization versus the market. And I think the bit that really has been most beneficial is that when people go through that a second or a third time, we're able to not only measure and benchmark them against the market, but also against their previous performance. So it's really useful for me, because what I can do is say to a customer, here's how you compare to the market. Here's what I'd anticipate based on other clients' experiences where we can get your team to through a program. And then I can measure that and share those results with them after a program, 6 months after, a year after, or however long they want as a timeline for measuring improvement. It's become an integral part of the way I run programs.
So how do you think your life has changed since you've actually got the spreadsheet, from before and after? I mean, do you think this adds value to what you're offering?
It's been huge for me. So it fits as part of the whole cycle that I now take customers through. So I've got really nice way to draw customers in and give them an individual scorecard report, which is done through my online platform. And to be honest with you, that's become really valuable, that I allow anybody to go through that now. So if anybody's in a sales professional or business development role, they can take my scorecard, and that is really valuable on a one-to-one basis. As soon as we get to managing teams and organizational performance, that's when I need the spreadsheet to be able to collate the data, do the comparison reports, create the output and measure improvement and effectiveness. And many of my clients, that has become, obviously the training and development is core to what I do, but the measurement and the ability to show them in simple terms the improvements they've made and how they compare to the market has been pretty transformational. A lot of people saying that is a huge differentiator between what I'm offering to them and what other coaches are able to offer to them. So for me, it's seamless as part of the process, but also part of my competitive differentiation now.
No, I'm glad about that.
Yeah.
So one final question: why would you recommend me to others?
So I was surprised in a really pleasant way, Richard, at how quickly we got this together. So when I shared the data with you and what I was thinking, I couldn't, but I think we had, well, I say we, you created that first draft report for me within a week. I was astonished. So I'd been messing around with it, talking to different people about it for at least a month before I came to you, thinking that it was going to take a long time to do. I guess because of your experience, because of the vast number of projects like this you've run, you immediately start to think about how you can take that data, put it into a format that is going to work for me and for my clients, and present it back really, really quickly. I was like to the point where I was surprised at how quickly we got it together. So that's one element to it, your experience and the way you think about structuring the data and the output. I think the other piece that's been really valuable for me is that I've had a couple of glitches my end that have meant the spreadsheet has needed alteration or adjustment. And again, anytime I've come to you for support, your response is incredible. So really proactive, really positive, really quick response. And that's rare. It sounds like that might sound like every business should operate like that, but I've got other companies that I use as service providers, and they can be slow to respond, or they don't respond, or they say, I'm not sure we can fix that. Whereas the thing I love about you, Richard, is that you are prepared to do what it takes to support me as a customer. And I've found that really, really valuable.
I'm glad. Well, thank you very much, Justin. I appreciate you chatting to me. Is there anything else you want to add about the spreadsheet or about the process?
Yeah, I guess the only other thing for me is that it just having gone through that process, it makes me think differently about my business. So yes, it's a tool that you've designed based on the work that we did together, but it makes me think differently about where I'm going next, about how I structure data, about what's possible. In the past, I might have seen a data set and thought, I can't do anything with it. I've now got confidence that as and when I see those opportunities, by connecting with you, we can find a way to present that and make something that actually adds value to my customers and to my business. So yeah, huge thanks. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much.